suicide. That's a real problem, and I never thought it was until I experienced it myself, and it's real. It's a real feeling. It's a real emotion. I know many people do it, but when you never believed in it, and you never thought, oh, that's an easy way out or whatever, sometimes when you're at the very bottom, it makes you feel like that's the only way out. And yeah, people say you can talk to people and stuff, but it's very hard because people judge. It's their nature. I mean, I just posted my video a couple days ago. You get, some mean comments. You get some great comments too, but there's some nasty people. But what can you do, right? I mean, that's how the world works. Until they're in it, or until it's actually happening to them, they'll know. I mean, it's like going days without food. I've been there. I've done that. I just did that not too long ago. It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. You feel sick, your headache, whatever. I think, well, the only way I can deal with this is to vanish. And I almost did it. I was close. I had my belts wrapped around my towel rack. It was like attached to the wall, and I put 3 belts together. I threw the one belt over the glass wall, and I was going to do it in the shower so it's not messy or whatever, because you defecate when you kill yourself or when you die. And so I was like, I didn't want to leave a mess. It's very hard to describe that feeling, as every time you walk by you want to do it, just all the pain and suffering to end. And I mean, I'm sure many of you that are going to watch this can relate. It's when you see a bottle of pills, or when you have it in your hand, or you see a razor blade, or whatever, you want to just end the pain. And people are like, you can just talk to people, but who do you talk to? I mean, you can try, but you don't know. You always feel like you're being judged, or always being whatever. And there's a lot of people that are pretty mean out there and nasty, and you just want someone to relate. And that's what it comes down to, is finding someone that relates to your situation or relates to your problem. And it's crazy what happened. I'll just give you a little bit. I didn't think about killing myself when I was young. I literally fought my whole life. But as I hit 46, I got tired. I was kicked out when I was 15. I had to live on the streets till I was 18. I got on assistance, and then 2 years later, the person I was intimate with had my kid. And that's what happens, and it happens to a lot of people. And it's hard to continue to keep going and going and going and going. And you want to try to be a good father, you want to try to be a good person, or whatever you want to do. And it's tough. It's really tough. And I went to work. I worked. Yes, I'm single now. My ex and I did split. I did pay child support up till 2 years ago. As I said in my early videos, everything went to shit, and I lost everything, and it suffered them too, because I have no money. I'm literally trapped, and that's the worst part. And when I get back up and running again, and when I get okay again, then I will pay her back every cent that I owe. I mean, it's crazy how that all happened. I worked at 20 years. I said before that I worked for 20 years. I never had a problem. But my mom, growing up, she was a different animal. We used to have to go get hampers for food. She was on disability, making nothing. She was a prostitute. She's gone now. She's passed away. She killed herself. That's how she died. And she tried to force that on me. So when she called me from work, I was trying to avoid her. She called me at work all the time, almost got me to lose my job. And then, I called her and I said I want her to stay out of my life. I want nothing to do with her on a Sunday. And then she killed herself on a Tuesday, trying to make me feel bad, even in death. But she was not okay. She was a very violent person. She I don't know, it was very weird. My brother disappeared for 5 years. Not his fault. He just, he had to leave, and he went with his dad. I don't even know who my dad is. For all I know, he's just some piece of shit. Who knows? Tried to find him, tried to get a hold of him, but the person I talked to just hung up on me anyway. And then it's just like, what can you do? So I grew up with a single mom that was crazy. And I mean crazy. Like, she would make me stay home from school just to spend time with her, watch her day soaps, Wyatt Young and the Restless, and all this stuff. I wasn't allowed to go to school. And then when I did go to school, I think I said this before, I got bullied, and bullied bad. And I smelled like smoke, I was poor, and I did all that. Anyway, till I was 15. And the day I got kicked out of my mom's house, she smashed a vase over my head, and that's how I ended up leaving. So I was covered in blood walking through the streets of the town I lived in, going to my best friend's house. Even back then, with my so-called friends, but even back then, they would say my name and scrub my feet because my mom would make me massage her feet every night, or play with her hand or whatever, and it was until she fell asleep. It was very weird and awkward, and now I see that it's not normal, but when that's all you know when you're growing up, and that's all you understand, that's it, and then it escalated and escalated and escalated, and then one of her boyfriends sexually abused me too, and we went to court, and the judge threw it out because we didn't understand the Bible. You have to put your hand on the Bible, and the judge threw it out. So he ended up walking free. It's funny how the system works. So that happened from 4 years old to 7 years old. And then from 7 years old on, I went to, having no Christmases, to getting my toys smashed in the middle of the floor with a hammer, to, just for being bad. I mean, kids are bad. We're not perfect. I had to be home at 8 o'clock. If I was home at 8:01, oh my God, it was brutal. My brother, when he was, my brother's 5 years older than me, he got a 2x4 over the head for telling his mom, to F off. And she just took a 2x4, smashed his head, and he laid in the kitchen floor, bleeding all over the floor. She just left him there. It was crazy. I mean, eventually, obviously, she got help, but that just shows you the mental state she was in. For a punishment, we used to have to kneel on our knees on a kitchen floor, put our hands behind our back, and not sit. You have to just kneel there on the kitchen floor. And then every 12 minutes, you had to side shift without your hands on your knees. And it was the most pain ever trying to move. My knees are messed up from it now. Just running, the punishment was like torture. The best time I had as a kid is, and this is why I don't like the Children's Aid of Canada, and my mom was friends with people in Children's Aid, because back then it was different. They put me in they adopted me out for a month. It was so weird. I don't know how she got away with this, but I went to this Mennonite family, and I lived on a farm with them. I was homeschooled with their daughters. I got up every morning, went on the farm and worked. It was the best time of my life. I had home cooked meals. I wish I could find that family. It was the most beautiful time of my life. They weren't modern, but they went on the farms, and his wife could cook the best food. I don't know if it's because I was poor or what, but I worked very hard, and I got to eat those meals and hang with their daughters. I was important to everybody there. I felt real, genuine love with them, and I was accepted by them, and that was the best part. That was the best feeling. And then the Children's Aid just came, and a month later, and they just came and picked me up and took me back to hell, because she was friends with one of the people in the Children's Aid. I'm not going to name any names. I know her name, but I'm not going to name it. And yeah, unbelievable. And no matter what I said, or no matter what anybody said, it didn't matter, because they just threw me back with her. And I mean, obviously they didn't want to leave you in the system, I guess, but I was very happy. Anyway, as I go from 15 to 18, I was living on the streets of Kitchener, and back then they didn't have shelters for men. They had like an Oasis. The place was called Oasis. You go down and you can eat food and stuff there, and that's where I would eat. And it was just, and then behind the bank at Canada Trust, I don't even know if there's one there anymore. There's like this heating vent So wintertime, you could go back there and stay there and heat up. That was the best place to warm up in the wintertime. But I lived like that for a long time. And then even I got with my, at the time I had a girlfriend, I got my sister that she was adopted out, and we just got back together, meeting each other and talking and stuff. And she asked me, she said I could stay there. But she had a douchebag of a boyfriend, and you know, he tried to sleep with my girlfriend at the time. And then what happened is she took her boyfriend, like she took money from me for rent, and then she kicked me out. I don't know, for some reason I feel like I have sucker written all over my face because everybody loves to take advantage of me. Back then I was too stupid. I just wanted a warm place to sleep. And then, yeah, her boyfriend wanted me out because I wouldn't let him sleep with my girlfriend, I guess. I don't know. And then she threw me out. So that was great. And then I ended up staying with my brother for a bit. But you know what? His girlfriend didn't want my girlfriend there. And then she cheated on me or whatever. They said, I don't know. It was very crazy and so much drama, like a TV show almost. So anyway, yeah, that's how me. I ended up living with my grandma. That was good. My grandma let me stay there for a while. That was kind of fun. But anyway, the moral of the story is this: you know, mental health. It's real. It's real. I see people like Andrew Tate, and I'm saying, "Oh, depression is not real. It's not whatever." I understand he's been down and out from what he says, but he's always had his brother there to help him. You know, his brother never did his own life, and you do your own life, and you know, whatever. And I'm not saying my brother wouldn't take me in; he would. But if it was just me and him, no problem. But it's him, and always him with his partners, which is great. He always needs somebody. He always needs a partner, which is good for him. I mean, I think him growing up, he was never loved enough, and I was loved too much. In the sense of, like I said, being forced to stay home, being forced to watch TV, go get her pops and waters and ice and all that. It was horrible. I was like a child slave. You know, growing up, after I had my kid and stuff, I would never ask them to give me a drink or anything because I always felt bad because my mom did that. Like, go give me this food, go give me this, go give me that. You know, and she'd have guys come over and I have to leave, and you know, just so she could sleep with them for money, and cigarettes and pop were her thing. And then she'd wash her house with bleach and never open a window. Oh my God! I'm surprised I don't have lung cancer, honestly. But yeah, this is back to what I was saying about when I got that golden ticket offered to me. I was like, great. I don't have to be a nobody anymore. I don't have to be a poor anymore. I don't have to suffer anymore. And even when I worked for the 20 years or whatever, I was like a lot of people, you know, working paycheck to paycheck, trying to survive and live. But I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life, you know, just to get by, you know. And that was the worst part about it all is I don't want to just get by. I'd like to get like you see these people posting on social media now. Oh, 30,000 a month, 50,000 a month. I'd be happy with $12,000 or $10,000 a month. These guys are making 50,000 plus. And when I said about opportunities means I didn't have parents that allowed me to sit at home and figure things out on my own, and I didn't have that security nest. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I mean, like I said, I learned coding, I learned how to do programs, I learned how to do all that stuff. But then where do I go from there? Right? And back again to what I was saying, you need capital. You need capital. And I'm just trying to preach that to everybody. You need capital, you need something. So I'm going to keep... Thank you. Oh, by the way, thank you for the comments. Please subscribe. It's a huge help to me. It just takes 2 seconds. I really want this to work really bad. I really want this channel to do good. I want you guys to be able to help me, guide me too, and maybe someone will be able to give advice to you guys as well. And you can read that in the comments. If you guys get advice and you can see it, we can help each other. This isn't about just me. This is about all of us together. the main thing. It's not about, oh, hey, give me money, give me that. No, it's give me advice. Maybe you guys know something that someone else doesn't, or you guys can help with something else that nobody else has, or whatever. It's great as a community to help each other, and that's what I'm hoping that this channel will accomplish. And I don't mean like false information, like the YouTubers that are up there saying, oh, you can make 30,000, just do this, and then you have to pay for a program to do it. Like, come on. You know, I've been scammed a couple times trying to do that. And yeah, I just want honest, truthful ways to succeed in life, in my life and yours, because it's about us. It's not about me. I'm just using this platform to get it out there, to get the message out there. All right, anyway, I don't know if you guys watched the end, but anyway, love you. Subscribe. Please subscribe. I appreciate it. I appreciate every comment. Keep them coming. I like to read them. I will reply to them, and let's just keep this train rolling.